Introducing the new party. We live stream every Tuesday and Thursday p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Combs back behind bars, a magistrate judge denying him bail, saying that there were no conditions that she could conceive of that would make her confident that he would appear again for other court appearances. The judge saying, my concern is this is a crime that happens behind closed doors.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that.
It's chaos in Diddy's corner right now. With a high-profile case that has everyone talking, it's no surprise that the authorities are keeping a close eye on his every move. And let's just say their suspicions weren't misplaced. From allegedly contacting victims at the start of the case to now being caught red-handed trying to reach out to witnesses. Diddy's actions are raising eyebrows and alarms. But wait, it gets even messier. Reports suggest that Diddy has been dragging his own kids into the drama, allegedly pressuring them to help clean up the mess he's made. And if that wasn't bad enough, new leaked audio of Diddy admitting to his wrongdoings has now surfaced, leaving even his own legal team in shambles. Yep, his lawyer just walked out on the case. With the walls closing in, it seems like Diddy's empire is crumbling faster than anyone expected. Sean Combs' legal troubles just hit a new low, and the allegations against him are jaw-dropping. Prosecutors are accusing the music mogul of bending every rule in the book to tilt his upcoming ST trial in his favor. From sneaky phone calls using other inmates' accounts to allegedly coaching witnesses from behind bars, Diddy's reported tactics are raising serious red flags. And
party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
And today we're doing a special edition breaking news. Diddy's attorney quits. We're going to break down who he was, which one quit, and we're going to learn a little bit more about his defense team. I bet you did not know this famous attorney's daughter is defending him. We'll get into that. Gray, what's your thoughts on the latest news on the latest attorney quitting?
I don't know. Do you want to try portrait review? Because I know you want to try it. But Diddy, lawyer quitting. I don't know what's going on. I remember a lot of high profile cases, whether it's homicide or whether it's whatever with a celebrity, they're gonna constantly shake up the legal team because they spending so much money. They have the money to be able to say, no, I don't like what he said. I don't like what you're doing. My life is on the line. I don't blame Diddy. If any attorney isn't saying exactly what I want to hear, and I got the type of money Diddy got, you get fired faster than Trump fired somebody.
Yeah, but this is not just a normal, he didn't get fired. He quit. Anthony Rico filed a motion Thursday to withdraw as one of the Bad Boy Records' 6 defense attorneys without explanation. It said, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs. He wrote in his Manhattan court filing, it is respectfully but regrettably requested that the court grant the relief requested. Okay, this came out. He didn't elaborate on the reason he wanted to step down, but noted the decision came after speaking with Combs' lead counsel, Mark Agnifilio. Rico's bid to step down won't be official until a judge signs off of it, but a judge must find sufficient reason to approve such a request. I think he will because he has 5 other people. People are saying, rumor is, it's one day after Kash Patel was sworn in. Do you think there's any connection, Gray? What's your thoughts?
I don't know if there's any connection. When you just said that he quit, and he didn't say the reason that he quit. I mean, a lot of attorneys quit for totally different reasons. It could be financial, it could be personal. We don't know what happened between Diddy and the attorney because you have attorney-client privilege. What I
Right.
would say is, does Diddy still have to pay him? Does Diddy get a refund if he has paid him?
Mhm.
Like so. I think there's a big issue having stuff with your legal team. If you remember the Young Thug case, Woody was on the stand and he got rid of his attorney during the case.
Exactly. That's a good point. Let's watch this clip where it talks about who Anthony Rico is and who the attorney team is. I bet you guys won't guess whose famous daughter is also representing him.
The challenge. So who are they? Anthony Rico is a well-established death penalty attorney. He reportedly led the defense in up to 45 federal death penalty cases. According to his bio on the Fordham Law University website, some of the notable yet controversial cases included Rico serving on the counsel in the World Trade bombing conspiracy case and embassy bombing case in 1998. Some of his other cases included People versus Corey Arthur. Arthur was charged in the murder of the son of former Time Warner CEO Gerald Levine. Rico was able to get the death penalty off the table and litigate Arthur's sentence to life in prison. He also previously represented the undercover NYPD officer acquitted in the 2006 killing of Sean Bell. According to his bio, he doubles as an adjunct professor of law at Fordham and has been practicing law since 1982. Another new addition to the Diddy defense team is Alexandra Shapiro. According to her firm's website, she's labeled as one of the nation's leading appellate lawyers, and her work is recognized in the reversals of both civil and criminal cases. She graduated from Columbia University School of Law in '91 and began working as a clerk to Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg before going on to work in white-collar defense. Shapiro even landed her own huge wins in the Supreme Court and narrowed the scope of the federal fraud statutes to reverse the wire fraud convictions of Western New York developer Louis Simonelli and former Andrew Cuomo aide Joseph Percoco. She's also representing convicted cryptocurrency fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried, who is reportedly in the same unit as Shapiro's newest client, Sean Combs, aka Diddy. And if you're wondering if she's related to the Robert Shapiro from the O.J. Simpson case, the two are not related. Shapiro and Rico now join Mark Agnifilo and Teeny Garagos. Teeny Garagos is the daughter of the attorney to the stars Mark Garagos, who famously represented the likes of Winona Ryder, Michael Jackson, and Chris Brown.
Do you recognize her?
No, who is she?
Mark Garagos. He represented Michael Jackson, remember?
Yeah, I remember that. And he was on the OJ case.
Yeah, exactly. So Diddy's got a dream team, y'all. I mean, but that guy Rico, I think, was the strongest attorney he had because he was the most experienced with these federal charges. He's had a lot of wins, as you can see. Him leaving is going to be a big blow, in my opinion, to his team. I think the only other big blow is if a woman left because he's going to need women faces to represent him when all these charges are coming out and speaking to the jury. Gray, do you think this is a blow to his defense? Do you think they're going to prolong it? Do you think he's ever going to be free at this point?
I mean, with Diddy, you don't know what's going on. If you remember that first video you watched, he says a lot of other people connected to this case. So Diddy could really tell on some people, get a sweet plea deal, and I mean, I'm not sure if that particular lawyer, I don't know why he quit. So when the Young Thug case was happening, everybody thought that he was going to jail, and he pulled the craziest move and pulled it off. And we've seen people thought Trump was going to jail, and he ended up being the president.
Definitely.
So I don't put anything past it. We just saw ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, free. I was shocked.
So like, I don't necessarily know what's going on with the attorneys or what strategy they're taking. They may be doing something that he feels like is not something he would want to be associated with and could possibly be illegal, so he's stepping away. So I
Exactly.
don't. But I heard Diddy was trying to make it a race thing. He was saying that this crime is never not prosecuted, and because he's a successful black man, that's why they're going after him.
Yeah, and everybody watching, can you please do me a favor? Hit the like button. If you're watching on X, I know a lot of y'all are watching on X. If you could just repost it to your page, that would be great. Everybody hit the like button if you haven't already. We got some bombshell record, things we're going to discuss today. Did you know there's recordings of Diddy talking allegedly? People are saying it's AI, but it could be real. I'm going to play it and we could talk about it. This is a call with his son allegedly. I don't know how real it is, so I'm going to give an asterisk. But it sounds pretty well. And Gray, you'll tell me your thoughts if you think it's real.
Hey, Kevin, when you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil? Yes, wrong person, wrong question. Rihanna, did you attend any of P. Diddy's parties? That's crazy.
For Saturday,
I'm coming to the party, yo. It's on.
John, you made a statement about Diddy. Any reaction to Diddy?
Did Jay reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting.
But let's break down this phone call from prison where it seems like he's talking to his son, and the call is very difficult to understand. I don't know if it's something about the jail phone systems, but either way, we're going to try to break down every single word. But I believe that they're talking in code because I can't understand what he's trying to say.
Bob, what up? Yo, listen. Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone.
Here Diddy's being kind of smart because he knows everybody records prison phone calls, so he definitely knows that he can't say anything specific about the case, and you could tell by the rest of the conversation that he wants to make sure that they don't know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes.
So here we got Diddy talking in code about pizza boxes. I'm not sure what the reference is and what its actual code name for, but he's mentioning pizza and boxes separate. So I don't know what the pizza stands for and I don't know what the boxes stand for. If anybody knows what this means, leave it in the comments so we could talk about it. And
Ray, do you think that's a real recording or do you think it's AI?
Well, I don't know if people know a lot about prison, but if you have money in prison, like you can live like a king. Like if you got $500,000 in prison, you can live good in prison. So Diddy having to use the actual phone and talk business where he got to talk in code over the prison phone, I don't think he would need to do that. I think as soon as Diddy hit the compound, he had people coming over to him like, hey, you need a cell phone? I got a cell phone for you.
No, he's been alleged, and I have another clip where it breaks down. I did look it up. It's real that he's using other people's phone cards. It's pretty like locked down at that jail. I don't think so. It's one of the most restrictive jails I think in the country.
You would be surprised with what these inmates can do with dental floss. These inmates are able to like make paper. It's called a kite. Throw it down, and then they pass letters around. They're able to sneak paraphernalia through envelopes by putting it on the sticky paper. Inmates are very ingenuitive. Like they can do things that me and you in the regular world would never think of. So somebody as powerful as Diddy there, with as much clout as Diddy, and an inmate not helping him out, especially with getting communication outside where he has to put himself at risk on the jail phone, I just don't think it's believable.
So you think it's AI?
Yes.
I don't know. He talks about them pizza boxes. I don't know. I mean, the pizza boxes could be code for a whole lot. In the next clip, it talks about the calling cards. And Gray, I'd love to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
The music mogul broke jail phone rules at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. This confession comes after prosecutors presented hard proof of Diddy's actions, making it nearly impossible to deny the allegations. In a November 21st filing obtained by All Hip Hop, Diddy's attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, acknowledged that the rapper used other inmates' phone access cards to make unauthorized calls, a clear violation of federal prison policies. The policy states, an inmate may not possess another inmate's telephone access code number. An inmate may not give his or her telephone access code number to another inmate and is to report a compromised telephone access code number immediately to unit staff. While Shapiro claims this practice is common at MDC, it doesn't change the fact that prosecutors have solid evidence linking Diddy's phone misuse to attempts at influencing witnesses and manipulating public opinion. This is what Shapiro said in his client's defense. The use of other inmates' PAC numbers is also a widespread practice at the MDC and not obstruction. Shapiro wrote in the filing to Judge Arun Subramanian. Inmates routinely share their calling minutes with other inmates, and they are limited to 15 minutes per call and 1 call per hour. The government has presented no evidence suggesting anything Mr. Combs says using other numbers is any different from what he says while using his individual PAC number. If anything, that Mr. Combs needs to resort to sharing minutes demonstrates that the conditions at MDC do not permit an adequate defense preparation. Although this is technically not permitted by BOP policy, the BOP effectively sanctions the practice and all calls are monitored. With the prosecution armed with such undeniable proof, it's no surprise Diddy's legal team chose to concede to this particular violation rather than risk further damage to his already crumbling defense.
Wow. Everybody watching, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on X, can you please repost this to your page? We really appreciate it. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the heart. Gray, what's your thoughts on the calling card? I mean, that was, actual filings. That's not made up. My thing is, I think it is possible because he's tampering with witnesses. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, $50 goes a long way in prison. So, like, Diddy is a millionaire. So, of course, those guys there were dying to give Diddy their call number, be able to use their minutes, because down men with Diddy, I'm locked up in Diddy. That inmate is able to call back home like, I'm cool with Diddy. Diddy probably has security, protection. He probably get commissary, whatever he want. It's probably inmates waiting on him hand and foot because he has the money. Like, so as far as like the numbers being shared, then that's to Diddy's advantage, like I said, because then they don't know to track whose phone to try listening on his phone calls.
You want to know another reason why I think the guy might have quit? I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the whole Kanye tweets. He's been talking a lot about Diddy. Maybe the guy was like, you need to tell your friend to like calm down, and he wouldn't do it. Kanye just tweeted last night, did Cassie gaslight or frame Diddy or something like that? And I'm just like, Kanye, stop talking about Diddy. You're not helping him at this point. Like, mind your business. Do you think that Ye's tweets have helped or hurt Diddy right now?
I think it's a both. I think getting Diddy out there, because once Kanye did it, Kodak Black said Kanye the only real one because he's the only one that had Diddy's back. So I think you're gonna need some allies in your corner. Now the stuff that Kanye was saying that was derogatory towards women and things like that,
And Jewish people,
that's not helping Diddy at all. But keeping Diddy's name alive and him maybe trying to do something legally, and he's cool with Trump, like that is going to help Diddy more than with the rhetoric that he spills on Twitter.
I think you're right. Gene Deal has an interesting perspective about Jay-Z and his relationship. Before I play the clip, Gray, do you think Jay-Z has reached out at all to Diddy, and why or why not you think he has not, if he has?
The way I seen how Jay-Z did Dame Dash and Biggs and other people that he worked with at Rockefeller and the founders of Rockefeller, I don't think he would reach out to Diddy. He probably saw Diddy going through something and wanted to stay as far away from Diddy as possible.
Oof. Let's watch this clip. Gene Deal, for all of y'all that are just now watching, you may not know, Gene Deal was a bodyguard to Diddy for almost like 20 years, a long time. And so he knows him for many years. Let's see what he had to say.
Reveals that in the beginning, they weren't exactly friends.
I would say this, it's kind of funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Asner, Kushner, Diddy and myself went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, like some of his music, the whole 9 yards. But when we went over to the, I think that was Prudential Center in Newark, and him and Puff met up, it was strange to me. Because I remember
what Puff was trying to do. And then both of them, they was talking about something amongst each other, amongst all of us, and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You understand what I'm saying? You could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact, they may be two of the same.
Today we are setting up this Chick-fil-A.
So, Gray, what's your thoughts on what he said about their relationship? Do you think that Jay-Z and Puff were friends, or do you think it's like a friendship of convenience, or do you think it's just all business?
I know that Biggie and Jay were cool prior to Biggie's demise, so Jay probably has had a relationship with Diddy for a while, and then the allegations of Diddy being involved with what happened with Biggie, could have soured their relationship, and of course, they're both in the music industry, and Jay-Z is with Rockefeller, and Diddy has Bad Boy. Mm-hmm. So I can see Diddy not looking at Jay-Z as competition, and not wanting to, really be cool with each other. I think over time, him and Jay-Z probably became less adversarial because, it was New York, let's work together. If we work together, we can gain more, because the South was starting to come up with music. And of course, they beefed with the West Coast before that. And then Jay-Z had his whole thing with Nas. So they probably just started being more friendly after time went on, because Gene Deal was around more of the Biggie time, that area.
Right. I agree. So, yeah, there's lots to talk about. If you're not following us, please already follow us. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff on Diddy. I can't wait for the trial. But we're going to switch gears here to Jasmine Crockett. Gray, are you a Jasmine Crockett fan? I know you're a Democrat.
I'm not necessarily a Jasmine Crockett fan. I mean, I'm in Florida, so she's not I'm not one of her constituents. I think she goes a little bit too loud, and sometimes enforces stereotypes that makes us look bad. But I mean, she's outspoken, so I guess that's good as far as pushing the Democratic agenda.
Exactly. So, shouts out to everyone watching. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, RJ. Thank you, Kelly. And everyone, if you're watching and just tuning in, please hit the like button. We really appreciate it. I'm going to play this clip about Jasmine Crockett, and I can't wait for you to finally hear what she said, Greg, because I mean, it's going to blow your mind when you really hear her saying it. Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID. That was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us, because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Let me run that last clip back. The last clip after all the mumbo jumbo. Hold on.
But our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Jasmine, You don't know what $5,000 will do. $5,000 is the difference between someone being hungry, homeless, and in debt. $5,000 can eliminate someone's credit card debt. $5,000, I don't know. I just speak because I live check to check. That is really could help somebody, even though I don't think we are going to get 5,000. But the fact that she doesn't see the importance of $5,000 to me blows my mind. Gray, I'm sure you're going to support her mumbo jumbo. What's your thoughts?
I'm actually going to say something interesting about Trump here. Trump is a marketing genius in the ploy of he knows that what people talked about him is the stimulus checks and the PPP loans. You talk to anybody in Black America that likes Trump, that's the first thing they'll bring up, the stimulus check and the PPP loans. So he's going to the thing that he know is going to like get people to like him. As far as what she says, that is most likely not going to go to the people. She has a valid point. But yes, to go on there and say, what are you guys going to do with $5,000? That's not going to resonate with the American people who are living paycheck to paycheck. And like 5,000, a lot of money to a lot of people. So that was insulting. I will give that part. But I don't know if she meant like there are bigger reasons that we can like build infrastructure or economy. I don't know what she meant, but that statement didn't land well.
Well, she just said the bigger reason. She thinks because who knows what she's been told by her Democratic Party. Another pandemic is coming. She thinks that another pandemic is coming, and we should just be prepared. And that's what she's alluding to. That she's saying that that's 5,000 we could leave to save. But Gray, you brought up a good point. You said that when we get this money back, they're not going to give it to us. I mean, what are they going to use the money for? So we all know that the money would be used towards something. You know what I'm saying? So it either has to come back to us, go to the debt, or be used for whatever foolishness. Pottery classes in Morocco. I love my country, but we didn't need that. We needed the money right here in America. Well, my father's country, I should say, because I'm an American first, and that's how I think. And I think that gets lost with a lot of people that people aren't realizing that a lot of this money was going towards foolishness. I'm sorry, it was.
I mean, that's extremely possible. I mean, like you can go get a grant. Like, I mean, I've owned a business for almost anything and depending on the industry. So like in the public sector, they're just trying to like stabilize the economy essentially. So are there things that were waste? Of course, but even like when they say they was doing experiments on rats or something, we don't know what that experiment will show us down the line. Well, I'm going to say something a lot of people don't know. The military, the government invented the internet. You know that, right?
No, I did not know that. I thought it was Bill Gates.
No, it was a guy that was working for the government. And then like it was a government thing, but he built the pages working with, and he said, I can't charge people for this because it won't be what it is, and I have to give it out for free. So the government is responsible for a lot of the technology that we use today. GPS. I mean, like I use GPS.
Yeah. I think Jasmine Crockett is a traitor. I have another clip that she came out today with more of her mumbo jumbo. I'd like to play it for you, Gray. I have to really awaken you to your people, your Democrat people. Let me play this clip. She went on the Breakfast Club. Let's hear what she had to say about rooting for
and basically
other countries that are not even ours.
That's really been the one to call it out. The fact that I'm rooting for Canada and I'm rooting for Mexico a lot is really wild, but they are really the ones that are speaking truth to power right now. They can see what it is. And they were like, we are not messing with this crazy regime from Mar-a-Lago, and basically calling them thugs. That's what it is. But I'm like, y'all knew who he was when y'all elected him. So don't act surprised. Really been the one to call it out.
Mar-a-Lago. It's Mar-a-Lago. Jasmine, Mar-a-Lago. Say it with me. The fact that she's rooting for other countries to me is crazy work. Gray, what's your thoughts? Do you agree with her saying she's rooting for Mexico and Canada, who's not America?
I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that the Democratic politicians make and Democrat constituents is that they say statements like this and it makes it appeared that the Republican and the right side of this country is more patriotic than we are. Even if, we may agree with what Canada and Mexico is saying contrary to Trump, we should still always look at what's the biggest benefit for our country. So, I mean, Trump is going for the trade deficiency and feels like they should be buying more from us. So, okay, we know we're going to get harmed by that, but don't go out there and say, yeah, I'm going to root for Mexico. I'm going to root for whatever other country out there over the United States, because that's going to upset the American people.
Well, she also put her foot. She really needs to stay home because she's been talking a lot of smack this week, y'all. I can't make these. These were all in the past week. Let me play this clip of you what she thinks of the American people. I'm gonna play this for you. 1 second. This is again all in the same week.
Percent approval rating. It's higher than it's ever been. 70% believe that he's fulfilling his promises, and 45% believe Democrats should be more moderate. What do you take away? I think there's a lot to make of those numbers. What's your takeaway from that?
My takeaway is just like the election. We've got to do better at education. People don't understand.
Percent approval rating. It's higher than it's.
So instead of her taking any type of ownership as a leader in her party, because she's one of the faces of the Democratic Party, she's blaming the American people for not being educated. How about you blame yourself for not doing better marketing and selling your candidate? I mean, Trump didn't just win with his mandate for this country. They won the Senate and the House as well. So that tells you a lot right there, Gray Lake. Do you have any thoughts on the future of your party's leadership?
I'm gonna say I don't want to offend any Republicans, but I do feel like a large portion of Trump's base doesn't understand certain complex issues because they wouldn't have voted for him. So I understand what she's saying by that, but she has to realize that kitchen table talk politics is what pushes people to the table. If you go and you try to explain to a MAGA Republican, hey, this is inflation, the economy's actually good, they're just going to say, no, the economy's bad, the economy's bad. So in that way, it is hard to convince people. And she's probably saying, okay, well, we got to educate them for them to understand and be informed. But I think that the Democrats need to understand the American people more and understand Trump knows how to talk to the average regular person. And that's what he has better than them.
I mean, I want to give you guys some background on Miss Jasmine Crockett. She has a $9 million net worth, despite making $174,000 a year. She owns a $2 million townhome in Dallas. She owns a $1.5 million loft in Austin. She owns a $1.5 million lakefront cabin in Galveston, Texas. I mean, her net worth substantially grew. I mean, they're saying that she might even run for 2028 presidential election. Do you think she has the chance to be the first Black woman president? And are you going to vote for her, Gray, as a Democrat?
I think that it'll be another 10 to 20 years before the Democrats put another woman up there. I hate to say that, but Hillary Clinton's loss and Kamala Harris' loss was a big step back for women as far as running for president, especially the Democratic Party. I think a woman probably has a better chance running the Republican Party than the Democrats, because in those meetings and in those campaign offices, they're going to say, well, the last time we did it, we lost to Donald Trump and we should have easily won.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, but what do you have to say about that the amount of money that she made, Gray? I mean, you don't think that's suspicious? Like, how you go from making $174,000, she just got newly elected, I believe, a few years ago, to now having a net worth of $9 million.
The story that we all know and that we don't talk about is all of these politicians, whether they're right or left, they're doing insider trading. They get their money, they know what they're going to vote on, they know what's going to pass, and then they say, okay, you go buy these stocks, you go buy these stocks. It doesn't matter if it's Mitch McConnell or Nancy Pelosi. They're going to scratch each other's backs when it comes to them putting money in their own pockets. And that's what us as Americans need to all understand, as far as like these people as individuals, instead of us always going at each other. They all go there with nothing or a little bit of money and end up coming out rich. All of them.
Wow. Okay. Well, the last story of the day, Gray, that we're going to talk about, we're going to give an update on Wendy Williams. I don't know if you saw this clip of Wendy Williams speaking from the window of where she's at. Did you see that yet?
Yeah, on TMZ.
Yeah, let's play it because some people may not have, and we'll talk about what I found out, which was really heartbreaking about the Wendy Williams saga. So here's the clip. 1 second.
That's her. When Wendy Williams is locked in a room in an assisted living facility in New York. That's her. The only way I could interview her was to have a camera in the street because we can't get a camera in. She can't really have any visitors. She cannot go outside. She's been out twice in the last 30 days. She has no internet. She, and I think rightly says, she feels like a prisoner.
Are you allowed to go out?
No. In the last 30 days, I went out twice.
She is in a guardianship. And I got to tell you, Lauren, if you saw the Lifetime documentary on her when she was deep into alcohol a couple of years ago, it made sense to have a guardianship. Wendy is sober now. She is fine. I have spoken with her for hours and hours, as have many others. And everybody comes up with the same conclusion. She's back to the old Wendy. Yet, she's not only in a guardianship, it's a guardianship that has essentially locked her up and thrown away the key. She has been diagnosed with something called frontotemporal dementia. That's what Bruce Willis has. That condition never gets better. It only gets worse. There is a similar diagnosis called alcohol-induced dementia. That can get better. Wendy is an alcoholic, and she was deep into alcohol. But the fact is, when you look at her 2 years ago, she's gotten better. There's no question. And was this a misdiagnosis? And if so, she's going to get a reevaluation. But for some reason, the Guardian said, we don't think the diagnosis is going to change. How can the Guardian say that? The Guardians only talk to her like once a month. And I got to tell you, I've talked to her for hours.
All right, y'all. So I want to talk about what's come out this week. So I love Wendy, but I feel sad for her. But I found out why they have her trapped in that room and on that floor. Gray, did you hear about this?
I heard her son is taking her money, but I also saw a Lifetime documentary where she was an alcoholic and, using.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what came out, y'all, the reason why they moved her to that memory unit and why she's so locked down is because she got drunk in the building's restaurant, they're saying. They're saying an employee at the facility who had numerous interactions with Wendy from the time she arrived told TMZ she was initially placed on the third floor of the building, which has no restrictions on the residents' comings and goings. She would then go to the top floor restaurant/bar for lunch, and she was ordering drinks and got drunk. When they found that out, that's why they decided to lock her down. Now, that makes more sense to me in the story than why did they immediately move her there. I mean, either way, it is very, very sad, but now at least there's some holes in the story that was missing. That was hole number one. Hole number two was about the son. Great. Tell everyone what we learned about the son this week.
I heard the son was supposed to spend like $20,000 somewhere. They ended up spending $100,000. But we've seen this before. Britney Spears with her father. And Bam, I can't remember his last name. He was in the same one.
Margera.
But you saw he was a part of one too. I don't know if he said Jackass. He was on that show. So we're seeing this with these celebrities. Now these people doing this specifically to get money from these celebrities and making them seem worse off than they are is possible because it seems to be a trend that all these people keep getting put under guardianships. And if they were regular people, no one would care. They would just be stuck in an apartment left by themselves getting drunk. So is there some type of fraud because someone wants to take their money? I think Wendy Williams' son in particular should be the suspect that should be investigated.
I absolutely agree. And now it all made sense to me because I'm like, why would they give this woman to her family? Now I see why they felt the need to do it. Now, am I saying she should forever be in it? No. Do I think that they should give another family member a chance? Yeah, because I mean, it's pretty sad. She's a functioning, abling millionaire and she has no access to her money, but they had to protect her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm understanding why now. It didn't make sense before, but it all makes more sense to me now what was going on. Here's a picture of her out in Miami this week with her son. So, you all know part one of the saga was she was crying, saying that she wasn't going to get to see her father, who turns 90, for his party, but she was released, was able to go. And as we can see, she got to go to Miami and celebrate his 90th birthday. So I'm just really happy for Wendy. I really hope and pray that they release her to her sister, maybe, or her niece. They seem to be more responsible than the son. Gray, what's your thoughts on this situation?
I was never really a big Wendy Williams fan, and I don't know if a lot of people know the story, but she actually said that she had slept with Method Man, and she put out a story saying that Method Man's wife had cancer when they were keeping it from the family, and the family found out through Wendy Williams. And Wendy Williams has talked down on so many celebrities throughout her entire career. So maybe all of this is karma. And I've seen before on the show that she was saying her son was taking money. So I mean, like, with this celebrity stuff, like, is it worth it? Like, if you guys get all this success and then you just become crazy at the end, is it even worth it?
Right. No, I agree. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, guys. So if you're watching for the first time, please give us a follow, give us a like, repost, reshare this. I think we had a pretty good show today. We are the new party. Gray, what's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts is, with these celebrities, I feel like they're normal people and we should not put them on a pedestal. As you can see, they make mistakes just like we make mistakes. And, now with social media and everything that's out there, everything is going to be put out there. As far as Jasmine Crockett and to the Democrats, let us just sit back and learn from the lessons that we learned. One of the big things that we should be happy about, and I haven't heard anybody say this, we forced the Republican Party to change. They have changed drastically just to be able to beat us. And if you look at Trump, and I read this article, the new Republican Party looks more like the 1980s Democrats than they do as regular Republicans. So we forced them to change. So be happy about that, and just let's see what Trump does.
Yeah, thank you for everyone supporting us and rocking with us. If you are watching, you can go back on our page and watch our show from last night. We talked about the African diaspora. Definitely a good show, very educational, shows that all parties can be united and come together and have a nice conversation about Black history. Please give us a follow. We will be back Monday night doing the Man Cave show, and we live stream every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like we always say on the new party, always vote.
Introducing the new party. We live stream every Tuesday and Thursday p.m. Eastern Standard Time.